Hello friends, myself Archana Mogal from KTHM College, Nasik, Department of Computer Science. I am going to teach a paper, Database Management System. Now, we will start our second chapter, that is Conceptual Design using ER Data Model. Now, we are going to learn the constraints and the types of constraints. What is the constraints and what is the types of constraints? Today we will see. Let us see what is a constraints. Constraints. Entities, entity sets, relationship, attributes, etc. are very important while designing ER model. Other than these, there are various other important constraints which are required in ER model, and constraint enforce limits to the data or type of data that can be inserted, updated or deleted from a table. Then main purpose of a constraint is to maintain the data integrity during update, delete or insert into a table. Let's see what is a constraint. Constraints are the rules enforced on the data columns of a table. These are used to limit the type of data that can go into the table. These constraints ensures the accuracy and reliability of the data into the database. Constraints are nothing but the rules that are to be followed while entering the data into the columns of the database table. Constraints ensure that data entered by the user into the columns must be within the criteria specified by the condition. For example, if you want to maintain only unique IDs in the employee table, or if you want to enter only age under 18 in the student table, etc. There are some types of constraints: key constraints, integrity constraints, referential constraints, unique constraints, null or not null constraints, domain constraints, check constraints and mapping constraints. We will see one by one. First constraint is the key constraint. Keys are fundamental components of any relational database. Key is an attribute set of attributes used to identify data in entity sets. Attributes used as a keys are called key attributes, and which are not used are called non-key attributes. Keys are entity set that is used to identify an entity within its entity set uniquely. What are the key constraints exactly? Keys are the entity set that is used to identify an entity within its entity set uniquely. An entity set can have multiple keys. Keys in DBMS is an attribute or a set of attributes that helps to identify a row, that means tuple, in a relation, means in a table. They allow you to find the relation between the two tables. Keys helps you uniquely identify a row in a table by combination of one or more columns in that table. The key is also helpful for finding a unique record or a row from the table. There are 6 types of key constraint used in a database: super key, primary key, candidate key, composite key, alternate key or secondary key, and foreign key. We will see one by one. The first key is super key. A super key is a set of one or more attributes which, taken collectively, allow us to identify uniquely an entity in the entity set. A super key is a group of single or a multiple keys which identifies the rows in a table. A super key may have additional attributes that are not needed for unique identification. There is one example. Consider employee table. It contains two attributes, that is employee number and department number. Employee name can be repeated and not unique because two or more persons may have the same name. Okay, then employee number and department number is a super key, Employee number is also key and department number is also key. Here two attributes, employee number and department number, together makes a super key. Employee number is a key because it contains minimal set of attributes. Employee number and department number may not have repeated, may not have the same. So employee number and department number is a super key, and employee name can be repeated. Two or more persons may have the same name. So employee name cannot be super key. There is another example of a super key. Consider customer. There is relation customer having attribute customer number, customer name and social security number. Here customer number and social security number is a super key because they may not they cannot be repeated, and but customer name is not super key. Why is it not super key? Because two or more person, two or more customer having may same name. Also customer number is sufficient to distinguish one customer from the another. So customer number is a super key. Similarly, combination of customer number and customer name is also super key. Next is primary key. Primary key uniquely identifies each record in a table. It must have unique values and cannot contain null values. Primary key is a column or a group of columns in a table that uniquely identify every row in that table. The primary key can't be duplicated, meaning the same value can't appear more than once in the table, and table cannot have more than one primary key. There are some rules for defining primary key. First rule is two rows cannot have the same primary key value. Second rule is it must for every row to have a primary key value. And the third rule is the primary key field cannot be null. Here is one example, that is customer has an account. There is two entity, customer and account. Customer having the attribute customer number, name, address and phone number. Account having attribute account number, account type and amount. In this example, customer number and account number field is marked as a primary key. That means customer number and account number field cannot have duplicate value. Customer number and account number cannot be repeated and cannot have null values. Sometimes a table just does not have a primary key. In such cases, we may need to introduce an additional column which contain unique values. Next key is candidate key. A table can have more than one set of columns that could be chosen as the key called candidate key. In other words, a set of attributes that uniquely identifies a tuple according to a key which is minimal set of the columns in the table. Candidate key is a set of attributes that uniquely identify tuples in a table. Candidate key is a super key with no repeated attributes. The primary key should be selected from the candidate keys, and every table must have at least one single candidate key. Table can have multiple candidate keys but only a single primary key. There are some properties of candidate key. First one is it must contain unique values. Second, candidate key may have multiple attributes. Third property is that candidate key must not contain null values. Fourth property is that it should contain minimum fields to ensure uniqueness. And fifth property is that uniquely identify each record in a table by using candidate key. Candidate key is defined by two parts. There is two distinct tuples, means records cannot have same value in all the fields of a key. If student ID and student name is a candidate key, then the DBMS will not allow the students relation to contain two tuples describing different students with the same name. There are one example of candidate key. Suppose we consider two attributes from customer relation, customer name and street. These attributes are sufficient to distinguish among members of the customer entity set. So, customer name and street is a candidate key because we can distinguish by using these attributes. Then, although the attribute customer name and social security number together can distinguish customer entity, their combination does not form a candidate key since the attribute social security number alone is a candidate key. Another example of a salesman table contains attributes social salesman number, salesman name, region and commission. Salesman number is a candidate key. Salesman name cannot be candidate key because name can be repeated. Two or more persons may have the same name. If we add attribute passport number in this table, then we can identify person uniquely by passport number. So passport number is a candidate key. Next key is composite key. There are situations when one attribute cannot form a key because single attribute cannot uniquely identify every tuple or row in the table. So, we need two or more attributes to identify tuple in the table. The key consists of two or more columns is called as composite key. Composite key is a combination of two or more columns that uniquely identifies rows in a table. The combination of columns guarantees uniqueness, though individually uniqueness is not guaranteed. Hence, they are combined to uniquely identify records in a table. Let us see one example of composite key. For example, consider a table of supplier which tells us the parts which supplier sells. So, here the attributes super ID, part ID, quantity and price. Here neither super ID and nor part ID can identify row in the table uniquely. However, two of them together can easily identify tuple or row in the table uniquely. Hence, composite key is super ID and part ID. Alternate or secondary key. Alternate or secondary keys are key that may or may not identify a record uniquely but help in faster scanning. Significance of alternate keys. The DBMS creates and uses an index based on the alternate key like primary key, and searching is faster because it is indexed, and alternate key can have duplicates. Alternate keys is a column or a group of columns in a table that uniquely identify every row in that table. A table can have multiple choices for a primary key, but only one can be set as the primary key. All the keys which are not primary key are called an alternate key. Just keep in mind that all the keys which are not primary key are called an alternate key. Let us see difference between the primary and the alternate or secondary key. In primary key, it has the unique value, and in secondary key, duplication is allowed. In primary key, there can be only one primary key per table. In secondary key, any number of alternate keys are possible. In a primary key has to be a candidate key also. And in a secondary key, an alternate key may or may not be a candidate key. Foreign key. A foreign key is a set of columns in one table which is a key in another table. Foreign keys are very important in DBMS to show the relationship between the tables. The attribute which acts as a primary key in one table will act as a foreign key in another table. Foreign key is a column that creates a relationship between the two tables. The purpose of foreign key is to maintain the data integrity and allow navigation between two different instances of an entity. It acts as a cross-reference between two tables as it references the primary key of another table. Here is one example. Here is two tables, two relations. One is owner and second is car. Owner relation having the attribute license number, name, address and the phone number. And car table having the attributes car number, model and color. In the owner table, we have to take the license number as a primary key. At that time, in a car table, we have to take the license number as a foreign key. By using foreign key concept, we can fetch the record from the two different tables at a time. Now, we will stop here, and in next lecture, we will see the remaining types of constraints like domain constraint, check constraint, mapping constraints, integrity constraints, null, not null constraints, check constraints, referential constraints, etc. Thank you.